And welcome to another edition of We Stream, the official reaction channel of epic rap battles of history. Now, at that moment, you might expect a little disclaimer to pop up. However, I don't need any such disclaimer, because after I died, I was crowned the actual official reaction channel of epic rap battles of history. So, no disclaimer needed, because we are official, bitches. And, what is this? A year? A year and a half since this battle came out? And I never watched it. Not on my own. I certainly didn't react to it. So now we're here to react to Trump versus Kamala Harris. I don't know how well this battle will have aged.
Oh boy, a new sucker! I mean a new member!
Yay, a new member! Yeah, 72 fucking months, Jesus Christ! Be more like that. And that way my editor can stay paid, and maybe we'll actually edit a video instead of just doing it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. That was in the first ERB as a real reference. Anyway, I'm curious, how well has this battle aged? And, how did they do? I didn't watch this. And before we get into a political battle, I need to remind you that my political opinions are objectively better than yours. You know who I voted for in this election? Vermin Supreme! That's right. Free ponies for all Americans. I voted for real change. The rest of you fucked it up. So, let's get into this. But there's a notification.
A new sucker. I mean a new member.
Thank you for becoming a member and keeping, hopefully, my editor paid. Since this is a live reaction, you can always throw money at me. The link's in the description, or hit the command tip, and you could, or just super chat, and you can keep my editor paid. And that's the plug. Here we go. That was a oddly unnecessary random intro before the intro. Oh well. Kamala Harris. It's impressive that the Democrats have managed to find two of the most unlikable women ever to go up against Trump. Joe Biden was barely alive and he lost the election. He won the election. All the Democrats had to do was put anyone who wasn't already just hated, and they would have beaten Trump. But no! You have to choose Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris to go up against him. Two people who are obviously not, Hillary's qualified to be president, but also just a sociopath. Kamala Harris? Come on! Obviously not qualified. What are we doing?
I've got the best word plays. Ask my supporters. I've got more disabilities than a New York Times reporter.
Well, that's an old reference. Wasn't that the first time he got elected that he made fun of that New York Times reporter's disability? And he was just making fun of the guy for being dumb, not for being disabled. But narcissistic flexing on his supporters are wild. Okay, Trump supporters go hard like my dick into ass, butt stuff for president.
Your party is so pro-choice, they aborted a state's right to vote.
Get it? Right to vote, as in right to, choose who the heck you want to actually elect as the president to represent the Democratic Party.
Pussy bows think you could scare me with.
Wait, what did you say? We gotta rewind.
Pro-choice, the aborted estate's right to vote. Pencil pushing pussy bows think you could scare me with prison. Get your mugshot and your mugshot, then come talk to me about convictions.
That was a cool double. Mugshot, then your mug shot, referencing to the attempted assassination, and mugshot because they arrested him. That was a nice double. Well, listen, say what you want about Donald Trump. He's pretty badass as like a supervillain. Dude got shot, pumped his fist in the air. He converted Mark Zuckerberg into a Republican. I don't know if you've seen Mark Zuckerberg before Trump got shot at and after. Before he was robot Mark Zuck. After he started wearing chains, doing covers of rap songs. He removed all of the filters on Instagram and Facebook, so those platforms are crazy, like old internet feeling shit now. It changed the man's whole life. It was wild. Like, what the hell was that all about? But anyway, as a supervillain, Donald Trump works pretty well. And obviously, there's a lot of people that think he's like a real huge threatening supervillain. I think he's more of a silly supervillain, but still, he's got street cred, is I guess what I'm saying.
Your party is so pro-choice, the aborted estate's right to vote. Pencil pushing pussy bows think you could scare me with prison. Get your mugshot and your mugshot, then come talk to me about convictions. To the radical left.
That's good. Talk to me about convictions. Listen! Trump definitely believes in the stupid juice he's selling, okay? Trump believes in his legacy, his vision. He might just be in it for himself, but what he wants for himself is to be world-renowned and loved and the savior of all and blah, 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 which he is to his crazy supporters. So he's getting what he wants, but the dude is absolutely willing to stand on and die on business. He is a menace. I mean, so are people like Kim Jong-un and Vladimir Putin. So I'm not saying this is a compliment, but, you know, it is what it is.
With prison, get your mugshot and your mugshot, then come talk to me about convictions. To the radical left, you should be embarrassed. The way you divide our country, I'll call you Camel Toe Harris. You're
lowbrow vagina joke, since they couldn't do a dick joke. You get it? Because camel toe dividing the country. Cunt. You can make a cunt joke there, dividing the country. You know. Also, when it comes to the radical left versus the radical right, they're both pretty fucking bad. The problem is the radical left actually has like a voice. People know to just, the alt-right is what we call it. People know just to like not listen to the alt-right and just say, fuck off, you're retarded. But when it comes to the radical left, like for some reason, they get platforms, they get a voice in Hollywood, they get voice on the media. And it's like, I'm sorry. People who say that it's appropriate to have gender reassignment surgery or hormone therapy for someone who is early or prepubescent are just as evil and crazy as racists. We should see them as the same, not have one that's institutionally acceptable and one that's outcast. Outcast them both. The radical left is only a problem because for some reason it's allowed. And I don't know why that is. Like, the Republicans know they'll get the vote of the alt-right even if they don't condone or support the alt-right. So why can't the Democrats do that? Why can't the Democrats stand on business and say, hey, we know we'll still get the vote of these absolutely lunatic fucking retards, whether or not we openly support them. So we'll just let them play their game and publicly say, fuck off, that's not what we stand for, but they'll still vote for us. Can't we at least do that? Bare minimum effort here, guys. Bare minimum effort.
Inflation's got our nation clipping coupons, while it's leaking worse than a wet lab in Wuhan.
Well, listen. You haven't done much for inflation, Donald. Your tariffs were an interesting idea, and they were kind of almost working. And you had to go bombing Iran because Israel's got blackmail on you and the Epstein files or whatever's going on. Israel's always got America's nuts in a vice grip and telling us what to do and who to bomb. I don't know how the fuck that keeps happening, but we're here again. And I'm just waiting for Donald Trump to have his George Bush Jr. moment where it's like, mission accomplished, and then 17 years later, we're still in the same fucking conflict.
I had every American's 401k thriving. Stock market's higher than the planes full of migrants you fly in, and don't even try to deny.
Also, yeah, the Wuhan lab joke. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna point out everything, even though I kind of do. I just don't feel like it.
The cognitive decline you were hiding. Prop it up, Joe, like it was Wicked and Biden. I'm here to.
Yeah, that was a pretty. I wish we had anyone except for Donald Trump to talk about how bad Biden's presidency was, because Donald does it in such an extreme way, it can't be taken seriously, and you start to think, oh, this isn't real. But really, the atrocity that was letting Joe Biden be president after like 2022 is something that history will look back and have to study.
Teach you, but losing to a winner feels like. Ask Pence. I know how to drop a mic.
I know you're.
Hey, that's a cold bar. That's cold. All right, let's see how our Kamala impression is. God, listening to that woman speak. She code switches all the time to different accents, worse than Hillary Clinton did. I didn't even know that was possible. And Jesus Christ, the two brain cells in her head, they battle. They battle for control, and they always lose.
Winner feels like. Ask Pence. I know how to drop a mic.
I know you're not all ears, but listen up
That was a joke about his ear getting shot.
close. You are JD Vance's beer and level weird. You are gross.
Was that a MGK beard is weird kind of reference? Okay. I love the JD Vance memes where like Gen Z just made him into like a fat little makeup dude. It's beautiful. And I think JD Vance for Halloween dressed up as the cursed JD Vance. It just beautiful. Do I like JD Vance? Absolutely fucking not. He's absolutely someone who scares me. His existence is concerning to me. But I don't think there's any politicians that I like, except for Chip Roy. I'd let Chip Roy do anything to me in this country. I trust Chip Roy with my butthole, my penis, and my loyalty. God bless Chip Roy. If you don't know who Chip Roy is, then you don't get to be annoyed about politics because you're clearly not engaged, and you should stop voting, and you should fucking kill yourself. Thank you.
You've been bending American decency over a barrel. Giving Lady Liberty the finger like the Legion Carol.
Yeah. Don't attacking Trump's integrity. What does that matter? The dude doesn't even fucking care about his own integrity. You hit him where it hurts. Small hands, small penis. You know, the things that he's actually sensitive about.
That big creepy house with our secret stacks and piles. From documents to pedos, you spend too much time with files.
Yeah, that doesn't only apply to Trump, though. If Donald Trump was like a highlight of the Epstein files, I'm sure he's in them, and I'm sure he's incriminated like everyone else. But if he was a highlight reel, they would have released that shit during the first time he tried to get elected against Hillary, or at least the second time against Biden. The problem is, they're all fucking in it. They're all indicted, so they're never gonna let it out. But trying to single out Trump is just lazy. If it was just mostly Trump, or Trump was the main one indicted, we would have had those files day fucking one. So that doesn't really check out.
Having sleepovers with Laura Loomer? What's going on with you? Can't you afford more than Timu Melania?
Listen, Trump's a horny, perverted bastard. I don't even think he would argue that. Get him where it hurts, bitch. But of course, this is actually reflective of the debates. In the debates, I was like, Kamala, say anything. Do anything to make yourself seem like an electable candidate compared to fucking Donald Trump again. And she didn't. It would have been so easy for me to want to vote for anyone that's not Donald Trump. I ended up voting for Vermin fucking Supreme because this woman just, oh my God. She made Hillary Clinton look like the best candidate we had in 30 years. Because at least Hillary, although objectively evil, was competent. All Kamala said was, "You're being mean." Like that was her thing in all of the fucking debates was saying Trump was mean. Who cares? World leaders can be mean.
You failed in your own city. Bank, ballot box, and court. You're home alone too. You lost in New York.
Well, of course he lost in New York. It's a Democratic city. Trump was a Democrat. New York doesn't vote for anything based on actual ideas. He flipped every other, in the election after this, he flipped every other fucking state. Literally every swing state swung for Trump, so these bars aged really poorly for Kamala. Exactly, a vote for me, I just saw the chat, a vote for me is a vote wasted, Vermin Supreme. Absolutely, I happily wasted that vote instead of actively participating in this fucking system. Where I made my votes count was on all the things that people don't even know who they're voting for. The rest of the ballot, aside from president, that's where I paid attention.
On January 6th, it wasn't fun for me. Just like your bowels, I was evacuated suddenly.
That's an old person joke. January 6th, the giant nothing burger, I was live streaming when that happened. And I certainly didn't call it a riot when I was live streaming it. I was like, oh, these people are kind of pissed. I guess they're breaking in now. And it was all like so slow paced and like, it seemed like the people breaking in were confused. The politicians were confused. It was like a slightly rowdy tour of the White House. It was all just really weird. And now they've looked back on it like, oh my God, the bombs were going off. I was screaming under my desk. I didn't know what was going to happen. Like, bitch, what? What are you even talking about? People were annoyed and said, free tour of the White House, and like, stole some statues. Whoop-de-fucking-do!
You were history's least hopeful, presidential hopeful, mood swinging wildly like stock in Truth Social.
Truth Social is the fucking lamest platform ever. You should talk more about that, Kamala. That would probably hurt Trump's feelings. Yeah, get more into that. I like this angle. Also, her impersonation of Kamala's grating voice is great. Good job. Hi, Biden and Tim Waltz. Unless he's trying to be Tim Waltz here, I don't fucking know. That's a Tim Waltz bar, so maybe he looks more like Biden. But I don't who cares? Is Tim Waltz in prison yet? He'll probably avoid it. But goddamn, the shit he was doing in his state is crazy. I mean, all these politicians launder money and are corrupt with treasury funds. But damn, Waltz was doing it on some big time shit. Kind of props to him. That was full on mob boss shit he was on in cahoots with what was the fucking people that he was working with? What country is that? I don't remember. But goddamn, that was some high level scamming. That's impressive. Absolutely impressive work.
You wrote that commie crap in red because you're taking a huge loss. Is anything worse for you than Afghanistan did for your boss?
Yeah, the Afghanistan pullout sucked red because Red's profits are in the red. Ha, Red, communist, socialist, ha.
Man handed you everything you ever did. You couldn't make your own way, couldn't even make your own kids.
Goddamn. Well, I don't know much about Kamala's history with infertility, but I'm assuming there's something there he's stabbing at that would make sense to stab at if he said it. And if she's got some infertility issues, goddamn, Trump, that's brutal.
Your mommy was absent when you were just a little baby. And if she saw you now, she'd wish she were a childless cat lady. And if your racist landlord daddy wasn't dead to kill him, seeing me living rent-free in your head.
That was clever. Let's make something clear about the racist Trump and racist Trump father. I would say, based on their history, they're not racist. They're just sociopathic when it comes to business. Like Trump. Trump made it that if you were like a certain ethnicity, you couldn't rent in an area that he owned land. But it wasn't because he hated that ethnicity. It's because they found factually that for one reason or another, maybe it was the racism of that local populace, maybe it was just blah, 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 who knows? If that ethnicity rented that land, the property value within 5 years went down. And Trump said, I don't care who they are, I don't care what race they are, you said profits go down, they're not allowed to rent. That's how much the wheels spin. Trump doesn't have enough nuance in his approach to care, I wouldn't think, about like actual racial issues. His approach is much more dollars, bottom line, do I look good? That's what he cares about. So if that comes from a black person, a white person, he doesn't care. I feel like he has enough intelligence to not have the racism of Unga Bunga tribalism, but not enough intelligence to have nuanceal racism built on like bad experiences or stereotypes. He's right in the middle, what you would call a midwit. He's not a dimwit, he's not a genius, he's a midwit who thinks he's a genius, and in any case, racist doesn't really apply to Trump, maybe his dad, but there's not great evidence there. But sociopathic businessman that can oftentimes squash minorities because it's good for business, absolutely. But that's different. We gotta give racists credit where they're being racist. Some people are casually racist. Some people are in ranked server racism, and they deserve recognized, and Trump ain't that, okay?
Well, I know how you failed the bar exam after that. I guess the half of you whose job it is to rap isn't black.
Oh,
Hey, nice. Also, Kamala randomly being black and then Indian was really weird. I don't know what ethnicity she is, but it seemed like it changed a lot during the campaign trail, which rubbed me the wrong way. But hold on, there's one thing he said. Yeah, failing the bar exam, big surprise. She's fucking not very smart from everything we've seen of her. Someone in the chat just mentioned Jesse Jackson was funded by Trump when he ran for president. Yeah, Jesse Jackson and Trump have been longtime BFFs. Oprah also loved Trump. Trump, he doesn't have a history of being racist at all. It's annoying when that's brought up because there's so many good things to hate about Trump. Don't try to use racism. This dude's a New York City Democrat for like, what, 60 years, 70 years before he even ran for president? Like, come on. It's a stupid argument. The dude is a lot of things. He's xenophobic. He's a fucking sociopath for business. He's a narcissist. You don't need to throw racist there. He's also not homophobic because he was the first president to enter into office pro-gay marriage. He was pro-gay marriage in the 80s and 90s when that was not a popular stance. Like, the dude is absolutely an evil supervillain, like I said at the start of this, but label him as an evil supervillain for the right reasons.
Bar exam after that. I guess the half of you whose job it is to rap isn't black.
oh, good one. You ketchup-smelling edgelord. You rock the beats softer than Stormy Daniels' headboard.
Because, you know, the alleged sex hookups with porn stars. Well, not alleged, but you know what I mean. And that's where you get him, Kamala. Make fun of his sex moves and his small hands. That's what'll hurt him. That's what I want to hear from you. Also, Donald Trump, here's something that makes him foul. He likes well-done steaks with ketchup and McDonald's and Diet Coke. If you need to know anything else about the man to know that he's fucking vile and evil, I can't help you because that should be enough. That should be all you need to hear. You don't need to pretend that he's racist. You don't need to pretend that he's homophobic. You don't need to pretend that he hates immigrants. No, you just need to say, this dude likes his steak well done with ketchup, and you're done. Obviously, he's fucking evil.
I can't believe I'm even in a race with this hog. Hope you're in makeup in Ohio, because they're eating the dogs.
He was actually right about that. Did you know that? I mean, it wasn't like common, but he was actually correct. There were motherfuckers eating dogs in that city. I hate it when weird conspiracies are true. Like when a fucking, gosh, I can't remember his name. The dude who got sued out of existence for his crazy takes on Sandy Hook. But he said that the water was turning frogs gay, and it turned out later that those frogs were turning gay from this chemical in the water. And he was fucking correct. And then all the conspiracy theorists that were saying that there was an elite group of pedophiles who were drinking the blood of children at satanic rituals, that shit was real too. I'm pretty sure the people who made up that conspiracy didn't even think it was true. And, you know, it might be that after they made up the conspiracy is when that practice started, because some of these rich weirdos said, that's a good fucking idea. And then the people who made up the conspiracy went, oh, god damn it, that was real? We just made that shit up. You know, that's how I imagine it.
Donald, I'm putting you away like a rapist back in
Alex Jones! That's his name.
Cali. You should leave this battle early, like the crowds at your rally.
Hey, well, the crowds at your rallies leave early because you're getting shot at, but also, don't talk about putting away people in Cali, Kamala. Oh, God, Kamala is the district attorney. Can we release some of the minor drug offenders that lady loved locking up? Because there's a lot of them.
All the biggest rallies.
Yes, well, I've got Taylor Swift.
You're ugly.
You are ugly.
Well,
Here we go, just devolving into nothing. Also, why do so many celebrities have to be so public about, like, supporting one of these politicians? How much are they getting paid? Or how stupid are these celebrities? It's got to be one or the other. Because an intelligent person can't think that either of these candidates, like, deserved a true, like, oh my God, you should vote for them. It wasn't even a lesser of two evils situation. Like, there was no winning. It was just a symbol that America had fucked up, and we needed to, like, move away from this whole Democrat-Republican system. That's anyone with a brain. That's what they would see. So, celebrities like Taylor Swift, she has a brain. She's shown intelligence. So, I want to know what kind of budget goes into those celebrities. How much is Taylor Swift paid to pretend that she thinks Kamala Harris was actually a good choice? I mean, she's a billionaire, so she knows how to make a good deal. Those are just the conversations and, like, things I want to see, because I'm just curious. I'm like, should I chase celebrity? Is there a big, like, pile of money waiting for me to pretend to like one of these guys? Because fuck it. Who gives a fuck? If it retires my children and my children's children, I've seen who you retards vote for and what shit you've left me with as a fucking world to live in. Goddamn, I'll go ahead and be rich and profit off of your idiocy for once instead of suffering with you. Fuck, man. Shout out Taylor Swift. What a true G.
you're a Marxist.
Jumping Jesus H. Huckleberry Christ on a crutch. No one wants to fight
Thank you, Teddy. Come save us while riding a moose.
about politics this month. You, Madam Red, White, and Pantsuit. Don't let getting higher be the greatest thing you ever do.
Well, she did. Unfortunately, she did exactly that.
And you, baby back ribs up in heaven. Try not to slide democracy straight to chapter 11.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see at the end of his term if he steps down politely or not. I think he will if he has the people in place who he trusts, but he is a loose cannon.
Come here on the back of my musky antlered beast with a message for whichever one of you sucks the least.
That's neither of them, Teddy. I hate to break it to you. They both suck. I have a dick-sucking robot, and it sucks less than they do. Because instead of the rhyme is set up for moose instead of eagle. Because remember, it was always Abe Lincoln, eagle. Now he's gonna say moose, right?
People, moles,
Yay!
poster, protest.
All right, is this just an ad after this? Kimberly, good job on the impression.
Those jokers belong in a pair of clown shoes.
If you want the full range of well-rounded views, please check out our...
Yep, it's a fucking ad roll. Okay, we're coming back then. All right, well, that was That was kind of what I would expect it to be. They tried their best to make Kamala do something, but what the fuck are you going to do? Like, it's kind of why Trump won that election in a landslide, because he wasn't a good option. But does anyone know what Kamala even believed in? What, was it ever clear? And like, what disses could she have? I mean, I think that battle was a very good representation of the time and that situation. I also think the lack of donations on this live reaction is an affront to God himself on this Easter Sunday. If you loved Jesus as much as you said you did, then you would obviously donate to a crazy masked man who is swearing at you and sometimes blasphemous. I mean, that's about the same thing as spending all your money on those TV preachers who are far more blasphemous than I am. Let's keep it a buck. I'll never reach the levels of blasphemy as those. If you would just donate $10,000 to the church, heaven open. Like, I can't even imagine ascending to that level of blasphemy. In any case, this is where...
Super chat? Oh boy! Enjoy your 30%, YouTube.
Hooray for Super Chat that says ice cream, which leads me to the exit of this stream. You can come rewatch this video if you came late. Here we go. Until next time. Ice cream, you